Massive update. Even Donald Trump's biggest supporters seem to be realizing that he is rapidly losing ground to VP Harris. She has raised over $250 million, probably a lot more over the past 4 days. She's given some amazing speeches. She's united the Democratic Party and energized us more than we've been in years. But this article reads, as Trump unloads on Harris, even his supporters see her gaining ground. Trump's spokesperson says he doesn't know if attacks referencing race or gender of Harris are, quote, off limits, but says Trump doesn't do them, or at least Trump tries not to do them. We already know that Trump shared this racist meme that criticizes Kamala Harris's racial identity. Harris was born to Jamaican and Indian immigrant parents, and he shows these two headlines, one saying she's Indian American, one saying she's African American, but these two things aren't conflicting whatsoever. Donald Trump is too dumb to realize that, but let's read this article. Charlotte, North Carolina. Even Donald Trump's supporters sense he suddenly has a tougher race on his hands. As the former president unloaded on Kamala Harris in the swing state of North Carolina on Wednesday, calling her a, quote, radical left lunatic at one point, faithful fans conceded that what had been a sleepy contest had abruptly become something quite different. And I've already talked about this extensively, but calling VP Harris a radical left lunatic who wants to defund the police more than anybody wants to defund the police, and then also saying she's a prosecutor who locks everybody that she sees up, these are two conflicting claims, and Republicans are really struggling to find their footing when attacking VP Harris. I mean, on one hand, you're saying that she wants to defund the police. On the other hand, you're saying that she wants to throw everyone in jail like she's a cop. They call her Cop Mala. I really don't understand it. To some, it seemed like the vice president had momentum, and she does. Quote, policy aside and everything, she definitely has the energy, said Jessica Castillo, a self-described centrist from Charlotte who voted for Trump in both 2016 and 2020 and was at the Charlotte event. That is the average centrist in America, somebody who has voted for Trump twice and gone to Trump events and is going to vote for Trump a third time, but then they say they're an independent centrist who doesn't really agree with either side. Taking the stage at the Bojangles Coliseum, his first rally since President Joe Biden dropped out of the campaign, Trump ripped into VP Harris, calling her, quote, Lion Kamala Harris, mispronouncing her name as he dubbed her, quote, the most incompetent and far-left vice president in American history, and repeatedly declaring that she would destroy the United States if elected. I've debunked these lies before, but I'm going to do it again. VP Harris is not far-left whatsoever. She is center-left. She is progressive. When I think of people that are on the far-left side of the spectrum, I think of people like Bernie Sanders, people like AOC, who is not even as far-left as she used to be, but they're trying to use it in a derogatory way when it shouldn't be. Bernie Sanders has some good ideas. Not all of them are implementable, but President Biden and his VP Kamala Harris are firmly center-left progressives. Trump has some reason for concern. Harris, after being endorsed by Biden to run at the top of the Democratic ticket, in recent days has seen a bump in polling compared to Biden's lagging performance, including among independents, people of color, and women, among other critical voting blocs like young people like me. People my age are flocking to VP Harris on social media, and I truly think that we are going to turn out when election day comes. I mean, if you look at any polling, it shows that my generation is overwhelmingly liberal, overwhelmingly progressive. We believe in diverse values, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. We believe that people should be able to get married to whoever they want. We believe in climate change. We want to combat it. We believe in gun reform. So it makes sense that we vote blue. We vote for VP Harris, but we just have to make sure that people in my generation are aware that she is a vehicle for change, and that someday when we are handed the keys to these institutions, we can actually make a change because we have molded these institutions for decades through voting for the people that we want to vote for. Someday, people like me, people my age, will step foot into these institutions and be controlling them, but we won't have institutions if Donald Trump wins. Now, said Bryson Davis, an 18-year-old from Statesville, quote, he's running against somebody that's competent. That's very true. Kamala is probably going to come off a little more fiery than Joe would. That is also true. Or as Costello put it, quote, the fact she isn't suffering from old age, it's definitely going to give her a huge bump right away. She can talk. She can laugh, obviously. Of course, they attack her laugh. That is the only attack that Republicans have against VP Harris. I would rather take somebody who laughs too much, which she doesn't laugh too much. She laughs the perfect amount, but I'd rather take somebody that does over somebody who's old. Actually, the oldest presidential candidate in American history. For the former president, Harris's ascension was but a new invitation to fight, and the crowd ate it up. They cheered when he conceded he was, quote, not going to be nice about Harris, despite saying he, quote, became nice after the attempted assassination on July 13th. Donald Trump keeps saying, I want to be nice, but I'm not going to. That is total BS. He has been nothing but nasty since the moment he stepped foot in American politics. His claim to fame in American politics was saying that Obama wasn't born in the USA. That's a racist conspiracy theory that is baseless. He then doubled down on that conspiracy theory after Obama showed his birth certificate. He also came up with nicknames for Hillary. He is nothing but nice. He has never wanted to be nice. Trump on Wednesday fumed over the news coverage Harris has received as Democrats have coalesced around her since Sunday, insisting that his crowd sizes were still larger. I love that as he's losing, as he's slipping in the polls, he's still just focused on insisting that his crowd sizes were still larger. It kind of reminds me of him and President Biden battling about golf on the debate stage. Just total egotistical person with Donald Trump. Quote, 4 weeks ago, she was the worst politician in America, Trump said. Quote, now they say, isn't it amazing? Look at her. She's beautiful. She's so magnificent. You can tell Donald Trump is so incredibly angry. He's so angry at how much attention she's getting on social media. Trump this week agreed to debate Harris and said he would be, quote, willing to do more than one debate against her. It's a forum his supporters appeared eager for, but I will point out Donald Trump is saying he'll only debate VP Harris if they do it on Fox News, which honestly, VP Harris should step into the lion's den. Do it. While predicting an eventual Trump-Harris debate would sway voters towards Trump, Joe Wally of Mooresville acknowledged the race seems closer now, quote, because she's got the momentum. Sitting next to her, Kelly Henderson said she feared some women who are soft Trump backers will shift away from him. Go check out the last video I made on my channel to see women shifting away from Trump. Trump focused his attacks at the rally against Harris on her history as a prosecutor and senator, describing her as, quote, a more liberal than Bernie Sanders, who, quote, destroyed San Francisco with her policies and will destroy our country if she's elected. That sounds amazing. More liberal than Bernie Sanders. That is amazing. Bernie Sanders is on the far left. You could call him a socialist or a social democrat, but VP Harris is like a liberal version of Bernie Sanders. Somebody who is progressive, somebody who wants a strong welfare state, but somebody who still believes in capitalism, and that is my candidate. That is the perfect candidate. Somebody who understands and can articulate, can go out there and can energize people based off the threat that Trump poses, which is amazing. What kind of attacks Republicans will consider in bounds is still a matter of uncertainty after Speaker Mike Johnson this week chided GOP members about attacking Harris based on her race or gender, a warning that came as at least one Republican congressman called her, quote, a DEI vice president. But at least one congressman is charitable. That's doing a lot of lifting here. It was a lot of congressmen, a lot of MAGA influencers, and they feel emboldened by Donald Trump. If you agree, make sure you leave a like on this video. Comment a blue heart. I read all of your guys' comments, and I love to hear from you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Some people think they're subscribed, but they are not. Go join the Mockler subreddit. We are building a massive community there. We almost have 2,000 people where we talk politics. We share memes. We debate about politics. We talk breaking news. It is an amazing community to have heading into this election. Most importantly, have a great day yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.